Good morning, happy Foodie Friday. It's Tanya here, and I am tuning in on my business page in Lethbridge, Alberta, Canada, and I have a special guest today. This is my daughter, Kayla, and she's here from Ontario, so she's spending 3 weeks with us over the Christmas holidays, and I'm so excited to have her join me while we're doing the gingerbread men that we're doing today. That's our cookie of the day. And just a quick background, we've been here now for over 3 years, and we are formerly from Ontario, Canada, and I share this page with my husband Derek as well. So we're not talking business today though. We are digital business owners, but we are going to be talking about baking, and as I mentioned, we're doing the gingerbread cookie, so gingerbread man. So before we get started, normally the first thing I do is put the oven on, so we preheat the oven. So what is the temperature that we have to put it on?
350. 350,
okay. Typically, I find that cookies usually bake at around 350. That's usually the benchmark. And what we're going to do is we're going to assemble the ingredients today, and then I will put the finished product on my page afterwards, and I'll also share with you the recipe so that you can enjoy this for yourself and for your family as well. So the first thing that it's calling for is to cream butter, sugar, and brown sugar until fluffy. So did you want to do that, Kayla? Or?
Sure.
And normally what I do is I pre-measure all the ingredients so that way we're saving time. Brown sugar. So she got the white sugar, or we're using cane sugar, but you can use white sugar. And we're doing a gluten-free, dairy-free recipe today. So
that's what we got.
Yeah. So, and then we've got the blender, the hand blender, so they're gonna be blended together. All right, I'll go ahead and do that. So I've got my handy mixer here. So yeah, one thing that I always say for a tip when you're doing baking is to grab all the ingredients out of your pantry or out of the cupboard so that you've got it all in front of you, and it just saves you time from looking back at the recipe constantly and making sure that you have everything covered off. So that's one thing that we really like to do. So yeah, it's been a busy week so far. We've done some shopping. We're, whoopsies, gotta watch that. Came out a little bit. Yeah, shopping and running around, and Kayla got some visiting in while she was here, so that's been a lot of fun. So yeah, I'll show you what it's gonna look like when it's fluffy. So just give me 1 second. I've just gotta get the brown sugar incorporated. That's what we're doing here. And it's sunny here. Like, we're experiencing some warmth, which is kind of unusual for this time of year. Normally, it'd be snowy and cold, but I'm okay with that for right now because we've still got running around to do. So it's kind of nice to, be driving around when it's not too snowy and all that stuff. So here's what it looks like when it's all fluffy. Okay, and so the next step is going to be, we've got all the gluten-free flour, baking powder, salt, ginger, cinnamon, and all that stuff is together. So we're going to pour the dry ingredients into the wet ingredients until it's fluffy and combined.
But we're doing the eggs and the molasses.
So we're going to do that first. Yeah, add the egg. Okay. Usually I have the egg cracked already. Whoops. That's okay. So the egg and the molasses, we're going to mix those. So yeah, wet ingredients first. We've got the molasses. Thank you, Kayla. I almost skipped that step. So the molasses, it only calls for 1/4 cup, so that's not too bad. And if you aren't sure where you can pick up molasses, if you have a bulk barn or something like that, you can go there to pick it up, or grocery stores have it in like a smaller carton. And we're just using the blackstrap molasses, but there's two different kinds that you can get. So I'm just making sure to get most of it there. And vanilla. So the vanilla, I'm always worried about pre-measuring it, so I always just make sure that I've got my tablespoon. It's a tablespoon, right? Tablespoon. Just want to make sure. Oh, sorry. Just make sure it's a tablespoon. I'm pretty sure. Yep, tablespoon. Usually it's a teaspoon, but because we're doing the gingerbread men, it's taking a little bit more. So just to be aware, that's why I wanted to double check. Normally recipes only call for a teaspoon of vanilla, but here it's calling for a tablespoon. So I'm just going to go ahead and blend this now. So all the wet is being combined. Okay, it looks pretty good. It's not taking too long. It's a pretty quick recipe too. Okay, so that's all the wet, and now I'm going to put in the flour with the baking soda and xanthan gum. We had to add that as well. And it's saying to put everything in, right?
Yeah, baking soda, salt.
And all the spices.
Yeah.
So we did ginger, cinnamon, and nutmeg. If you have cloves, you can always put cloves in as well. We didn't have cloves on hand, but that's no problem. So mix until fully combined. Okay, so I'm just gonna go a little slower because I don't want the flour to spill over the bowl. So we'll do that first, and then I'll just turn it up a little bit. So I'm just on like a low speed right now. And then we're gonna mix this until it forms into a ball. And then the next step will be to put it in the fridge. So we're gonna put it in some plastic wrap and just like give it a little bit of a flatten. And then we'll have to let it chill for a little while in the fridge, and then about an hour. And then we'll pull it out and we'll roll it out. Yeah. And you know what? Even though this is gluten-free, you can use regular flour. You can just substitute for regular flour and you know, use the same measurements. And if you don't have gluten-free flour on hand, or if you just don't need, you know, you don't have a sensitivity or whatever. But we have a few sensitivities in our family, so this actually works out really well. Okay, so I'm just going to show you what it's looking like because it's coming together, but once it comes together a bit more, it'll form into a ball, and then we'll put it on the plastic wrap. I don't want to go too fast because I don't want it to dump outside the bowl. Okay, place the ball in the plastic wrap. Okay, so there we go. So it's almost formed into a ball. We'll take it and scrape it together, put it in a ball, and then we're going to put it in the fridge. So that pretty well ends this part of the baking session. Once we're done with the ball, we'll put it in the plastic wrap, as I said, stick it in the fridge, bring it out in an hour, and then we'll roll it out and use the cookie cutter. So that's going to be a lot of fun. So we'll document that as well later on. But I do want to thank you for stopping by. And you know what? Whether you're watching this live or on the replay, I'd love to hear where you're tuning in from, because I know how global we are. And hey, maybe it's evening or afternoon for you. It's morning here in Alberta, Canada. We're on Mountain Standard Time. But yeah, if you want to just put a comment there or let me know where you're tuning in from, I'd love to give a shout out to you. All right, well, thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed our Foodie Friday for today, and I'll come back on again next Friday for our next session of Foodie Friday, and hopefully we'll come up with a different cookie recipe that will be something that you're looking forward to as well. And also, if you want to just leave a comment on what cookie you would love to see us demonstrate, that would be awesome too. All right, well, thank you again. Take care. Have a wonderful day. Bye for now.